Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Hinkle here with your math lesson for today. I've got my pan scale out again, and with the pan scale I have a bean bag with me, and on it says 1 lb. LB is short for pound, so this bean bag weighs exactly 1 pound. If we were together, I would pass this around the carpet for your hand to be able to feel like what 1 pound feels like. So if your parents maybe have a 1 pound weight at home and you can feel, this is exactly 1 pound. Today's lesson, I have a bunch of items, some toys, some household items, and we need to predict, to make a guess, whether we think the item is lighter than a pound. So I'm going to have my red bean bag in that scale. Is it going to be lighter than a pound, where the pound stays down and the item stays up in the air? Is it going to be exactly a pound? So like this, the 1 pound bean bag and the item both stay hovering above the island because they're even in weight? Or is it going to be heavier than a pound? And if it were heavier than a pound, then the item would sit on the island and the pound weight would go up in the air. So you are going to be making a prediction. I'm going to put my pound over there. Woo, man. So, see, you can tell that pound is pretty heavy. Let me get these pan scales hooked back on. And there it's sitting on the ground with nothing on it. And we need to decide if it's going to be heavier, exactly, or lighter than the pound bag, bean bag. So the first item that I'm going to show you is a stapler. What do you think with the stapler? Do you think it's heavier, where it's going to sit on the ground? Is it lighter, where it's going to stay up in the air? Or is it the same, where both pans will hover? Let's put it in and see. Think of which one you think. So my stapler is lighter than a pound. It is still up in the air, and the pound beanbag is still sitting on the island. So this is lighter than a pound. Okay, next I've got myself a full bottle of water. What do you think for the full bottle of water? Do you think it's going to be heavier than the pound beanbag, exactly the same, or lighter? I'll give you a moment to think about that. All right, now I'm going to place it in the pan. And as you can see, the water bottle pan is now down on the island and the bean bag is up in the air. So the water bottle is heavier than the pound bean bag. Heavier. All right, next I have my Slinky back. So what do you think with the Slinky? Do you think the Slinky will be heavier? It will go down exactly the same. They'll both be floating, or lighter. Will it stay up in the sky for the Slinky? Make your guess, your prediction. And now I'm going to place it in the pan. And can you tell me which one it is? It is lighter. It is still up in the air as our pound beanbag stays flat on the ground. So the Slinky is lighter than a pound. Next, I have a jar of strawberry jelly. Hasn't been used too much. So what do you think for this jar of strawberry jelly? Do you think it's going to be heavier than a pound, exactly a pound, or lighter than a pound? I'll let you make your prediction. Okay, now I'm going to set it in the pan. And that shows you A jar of jelly is heavier than the pound bean bag. It is now sitting down and the bean bag is up. Okay, we'll do a few more items here. I'll bring back the penguin sphere stuffed animal. What do you think for this penguin sphere stuffed animal? Do you think it's going to be heavier, exactly the same, or lighter than the pound bean bag? All right, let's put the penguin in his pan and see what happens. He stays up high. So the penguin stuffed animal is lighter than the pound, which is still on the island. All right, next I have a juice box. It has not been opened yet, so it is full of Apple Harvest juice. What do you think for this juice box? Do you think it is going to be heavier than the pound, exactly the same, or lighter than the pound? Make a prediction. All right, now I'm going to set it inside. It stayed up. It did lift it a little bit, but then the pound decided it was heavier and laid back down, and the juice box is still elevated. So the juice box is lighter than 1 pound. Okay, next I have a container of disinfectant wipes. It's about half full. So I'll have you take your guess. Do you think it's going to be heavier, exactly 1 pound, or lighter than? Again, it's not all the way full. So what do you think? Let's see if I can get it squeezed in here. Oh, it is lighter because, of course, I've been using a lot of it. It is lighter than the pound. Next, I have a tape measurer. A tape measurer. Do you think that this tape measurer is heavier than a pound, exactly a pound, or lighter than a pound? Okay, let me put it in here. And it is heavier. The pound went up and the tape measurer went down. We will try one more item. My last item is going to be this chapter book. Pippi Longstocking. Do you think it's going to be heavier than a pound, exactly the same as a pound, or lighter than a pound? All right, let's put it in the scale. And it's staying up, so the pound is heavier than the chapter book. Thank you for your predictions. Have a great day.